I think we're going downhill.
I feel we probably are. Hello, we're live. We're fixing on the fly.
Well, we just realized that we were
We're
slanted.
looking crooked.
It looked like we were sliding out of the room.
Yeah. So, and the wind did do a number on my hair. I tried to fix it myself. Every time I try, and it just like doesn't. It's windy as dickens out there.
It's crazy out.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It is.
But I am wearing my green today for JA awareness. It's World Juvenile Arthritis Day.
Oh.
So hashtag kids get arthritis too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they're bringing awareness by letting the world know that.
Yeah.
it's
Well, I'm
just-
glad I wore my green necklace today.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know. If
Yeah,
you told
do
me, I
now.
hadn't worn it.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
But you know now.
I
so.
do know now. I'll
Yeah.
have to share something on social media.
Yeah. Yep. So we've got that going on, and it's just another day of getting ready for working hard and networking. And I saw you doing work when we came into Vino, our venue for.
Yeah, it's a great place to work. I tell you, the atmosphere in here is good. I come in and now they have the doors open and there's a breeze coming in,
Yeah.
and it was just nice, and have a little lunch and get some work done. Sometimes my home office is not inspiring.
I know. You just kind of get, too
Yeah.
comfortable, or you feel like I've been here so long.
Exactly.
I
And
need
so,
to get up and go somewhere.
Right. So sometimes I just have to reach out to my local places and have my office away from there. Plus, I learned this about myself. I have ADHD, and there's something that you can do where if you're working where other people are working, it's called body doubling. But if you're working where other people are working, it's easier for you.
Do you kind of just pick up on that and want to do what they're doing, or is it just
It's more about if you're by yourself in a space, too many things will actually distract you.
Interesting. Good tidbit. A lot
Yeah.
of people deal with that. So.
And so if I'm working somewhere where there's stuff going on, I can get myself into the zone and hyper focus on what I'm doing.
Nice. Good tip. When did you recently learn that?
It's been maybe a couple years. So actually, Dr. Gross with Ozark Functional Wellness, he and I do that. Sometimes I go sit in his office and do my thing while he does his thing. And then I think it's too, because there are people there you can bounce ideas off of. So if something comes into my head, I'll be like, hey, do you have a second? And we get a lot of stuff done that way.
Good deal. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're joining us. This is Run It Studios presents Inspiring New Growth with Trina and Michelle, networking in the 417.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions on networking, if maybe you are already part of an ING chapter, say hello, tell us what chapter you are a member of, and if you have any questions or an event coming up, even if it is just something, maybe a special your business is running, something like that, we'd love to share it with everybody and let them know what's going on. So.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. We were talking about events last time. I guess we could tell people, ING meetings, because it's good to go visit meetings.
That is, it really is. It's been fun. I've gone to a few different ones too, and it's just nice to, maybe you see someone on Facebook, but you actually get that face-to-face introduction, and you can build a relationship and refer them, and vice versa.
Also, you can also be like a guest presenter.
Yeah,
If they don't have somebody who does what you do. Some of the growing chapters, they go through their loop of members, and a lot of times they want to bring in somebody new, or maybe you have something that you speak on. For example, Elise Ellis with Keller Williams. I have a realtor in my Friday chapter, but Elise happens to be really good with getting out there on social media. And so she just came and talked to the group about getting her business out there through being personal, just being herself on social media.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So how many chapters do we have now in ING?
Oh, wow. I knew you were going to say that. Well, let's just go through them. We have one that meets today at 2 o'clock in Rogersville.
And that's one of the newer ones.
It's one of the newer ones. It's at Empire. I think it's called Empire Coffee. So, yes, that is one of the new ones, and that store is just absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
But that'd be a great group to pop in and see. And then on Thursdays, we have 3.
Yes.
We have The Gateway chapter, that Theo Atchison with Shelter Insurance runs that group, and they meet at Rivercut, I believe in the clubhouse. They meet at Rivercut at 6:45 a.m.
Oh, I thought it was 6:30. Have
I
they
think it's
gotten a little lax?
Maybe. I think he said 6:45, but it might be 6:30. So you might want to get there at 6:30 just to be sure. Don't trust me because I don't pay attention to anything before 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's what I said last time. If I went, I'd have to go in my jammies and just stay up. Yeah. So that's a great group, though. That is a great group of people. And then if you wanted to just visit chapters on Thursday at 9 o'clock is Trinus chapter, the alumni chapter, and they meet at the Reese Nichols office on South Campbell. And that's at 9 o'clock. And then at 11:30 we have the Amigos chapter, and they meet at the Pasta Express on Republic. I always want to say the wrong road. I don't know why. On West Republic. And then I forgot Wednesdays. We have the Branson chapter, and they're meeting at a new location. So if somebody from the Branson chapter is listening, pop on and tell us what your location is. It's a new restaurant. And I don't know when the Hollister chapter meets. That's crazy. How do I not know that?
I feel like, I'm going to get it wrong if I guess. So
I don't want to guess either. I'm excited to go down there though, because I want to go meet those people as well. So yeah, those are the chapters, and then we have some up and coming chapters as well. So the Hollister chapter, the Gateway chapter, and the Rogersville Wildcat chapter. Those are our three newest.
Yeah. And you can get the times and all the information on the website, inspiringnewgrowth.com. Something else that's really neat, say you're going to some of these and maybe a time doesn't work, or maybe you can't find one where your industry's not already occupied. Jerry is so encouraging about starting a new chapter. Maybe you want to get one going in a place that nobody has one, or at a time no one has one. She's always welcoming for having that conversation.
Well, that's actually how the Wildcat chapter, I believe, got started. Keisha Messina, who is the coordinator of that chapter, is with Country Financial, and we didn't have any openings, and her office is in Rogersville. So Jerry helped her build a chapter in Rogersville. And really that's kind of how the Gateway chapter got started too. So so if you're looking to visit, if you are not a member of ING and you would like to go visit, you're always welcome. And if you are a member of ING and you aren't out there visiting chapters, you're missing out. Even if they have somebody who does what you do, go connect with the people. You never know, there might be somebody in there that you need to do business with.
So we'll talk about events here in a little bit. I don't want to do that just yet because I want to give people a chance to come on and maybe give us the event that they'd like shouted out. But I want to talk about something that I feel like a lot of us kind of get a little bit, not sure on, because they're all different in each networking group. But that is kind of the etiquette, the do's and don'ts of what practices are best within networking altogether. Some of the kind that can translate to any group you go to. Okay. So what would you tell me if I had not ever done networking? What would you say? Do this, don't do that.
Okay, so the first thing I would say is go visit multiple chapters of a networking group because you definitely want to gravitate toward the people who resonate with you. So we all have different personalities, and so when you're going to start shopping for a networking group, visit multiple chapters of the group, but also visit multiple groups. Because I've talked about before, I actually am a member of 2 different networking groups, and they work really well together. And there's some overlap, but not a lot. So I'm meeting people from different parts of the area. And so that's hugely important. So definitely do go visit them. Don't go expecting to do business with the people in that group. You're not going to sell your product or service to the people. I think that is something that we talked about before, but Networking is actually connecting with the people that you know. So if you break it down, okay, Trina and I each know approximately 200 people personally. My goal in a networking group is not to necessarily go meet Trina and sell her my product or service. My goal is to get to know Trina so that she can connect me to the 200 people that she knows. Now, if I have something she needs, great. But if I don't, that's okay too. It's about referring and building your referral base.
Yeah.
So,
And it's something too that, I mean, I'm sure you've heard before. I know I've said it before. When we were doing fundraising in the past, it's always been people give to people. And I have to sometimes remind myself that too, that it's not just all about one product or whatever. A lot of times they simply want to do business with you because they like you.
most of the time that's the case. People do business with people. And it's funny, I just made a post about that on Facebook, but people do business with people. So don't go expecting people to buy your product or service. You want to go connect. So when you're networking, another do is don't expect to just go once a month, once a week, whatever that networking group meets, and build relationships. You have to get yourself involved. You have to meet one-to-one with somebody, business to business with someone. It's about building a relationship and getting to know the people. So you very well could go every single week or every time your networking group meets.
Yeah.
But you're sitting in a room with lots of people, so you aren't really getting to know the individuals. So do meet with people individually and learn about them. That's, again, not to sell your product or your service to them, but to get to know them.
Yeah.
Find out a little bit about them. So, simple things like, are you married? Do you have kids? How did you get started in your business?
Yeah.
The fact that, Trina has her green on today for juvenile arthritis, and her why. You sit down and you talk to people and you find out, what are your passions? Why do you do it this way? Why do you call it Run It Studios?
Yeah.
How did your business get its name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that I've heard other people say too, it's all about the relationships, and it really does make a difference too. It feels better to know something about the person I'm referring, not just, well, they're in my group. Well, it's because my friends have used person XYZ, and I think Billy took my my branding photos, and they were some of the best photos I've ever had, and I don't usually like photos.
Yeah.
Then someone else is going to be like, oh, a lot of people get nervous about their photos. Oh, well, she liked them, so let me try Billy.
Exactly.
So
and that's
it's
Billy
just
Wiegand with Mountain Pine
Mountain
Studios.
Pine Studios, yeah. And
So we
Yeah.
forgot to mention that we have an audience member. We have
we have
here.
someone in our live studio audience.
We do have somebody. Well, we have two somebodies. Evan, who's with Vino
Right.
Sellers, but he's waving
He's
at me over
waving
there. He
over
said,
there.
"No, he's not coming here to
Not
look at you
coming on
people."
camera.
But we have Melanie Sutton, and she is a realtor with the Revore Group with EXP Realty. Yeah, she's in my Friday chapter. So,
Cool, very
and
good.
also a really good friend because something else that she, she's a good friend because we love her, but something else that she does, I ran from one sentence to the next and didn't finish my thought. It happens. So something that a lot of people might not know about Melanie is that she has been a wish granter with Make-A-Wish for like 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's been granting
a wish
wishes.
Granter.
A wish granter.
How does that work?
So she gets the fun job. She gets to go and meet with the wish kids and sit down with them and help them think through what they might want their wish to be and what is going to really make them happy. So she goes, she gets to meet the families, she gets to connect with them, and then through Make-A-Wish, she helps organize the wish, everything that happens with the wish, make sure that the kids' dreams are being put out there, and that they meet that as best as they can. And then she gets to reveal the wish to the kiddo.
Neat.
Yeah.
So, do you know her why for doing that? Was it because of your kids?
Yes, it was. Actually, we met prior to that it was actually at a vendor event. And we
We
met.
did
and
try to get her to come on camera, but
We
she's
did, but
enjoying
she
a
says
lovely,
no.
beautiful pizza over there, so
Yeah.
we will not.
But she's okay with me telling her story. So I just tell it. So we met then and just really hit it off, and we were becoming friends. And then my two oldest kids, found out that their wish was being granted. And it's really a fun story. Because I have two kids that were getting wishes, we got two wish granters.
Oh.
And I got a phone call from the first one, and she told me who she was, and it was somebody that my husband had been working with on another organization. And she said, I just wanted to check in and let you know that I'm the one who's coming to be your wish granter. And she kept saying, my friend Melanie and I are your wish granters. Well, Melanie's not an uncommon name.
Yeah.
So Angela, the first wish granter, got to the house that evening to meet with the kids, and she knock at the door, and she goes, "Oh, that must be my partner in crime." And I open the door, and it's my Melanie standing there. Yeah, and so yes, so then you get really close because she's very passionate about her kiddos, and she knows the families of each and every one of her kiddos. She's still in contact with them. And because it is definitely a happen and keep up with their kids and the families. And but she's actually family to us now. So when her daughter was 7 weeks old, Melanie was working from home, and just, the baby crying. So my son was a freshman in college, and he's really amazing with kids, and she called him, and he started babysitting for her little girl.
Neat.
So they're buds. Yeah, she's 7 now. So,
Wow.
it's incredible how you build connections if you stop to think about that in the world of networking. Melanie and I met at a vendor event. We were networking with each other about our businesses, and we were actually coming up with ideas on how we could do something together, and then boom, there it is.
Well, that kind of gets into the next topic I want to talk about. Are some strategies for making those valuable connections so you can give and get referrals. I mean, like we said, it's better when you can say, my friend used them or I use them, and you're giving that referral. But how, besides just the one-off B2Bs, what are some other ways that you can get to know that person and feel more confident and comfortable giving those referrals?
That's a really good one. The first thing that comes to mind for me is supporting any events or activities that they have going on through their business.
Yeah.
Because that way, if for some reason you're not using their product or service, because that happens, like insurance or something comes to mind if you already have insurance, But if you are going and supporting, you get to see them in business. So it's not just about getting to know them as a person, but you get to see them in their element.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. So I say support. Another would be to collaborate.
Yes.
Collaboration is huge, and it's probably one of my favorite things I see in networking all of the time is people collaborating together. And what's amazing is sometimes two businesses that you might not even see how they connect end up finding a way to collaborate and share clientele.
Yeah.
And so I think those are a couple of the important things. Get involved. Get involved in your chapter. Get involved in your networking group. Maybe connect more regularly with those people, like a lunch or coffee, and get together as a group.
Yeah.
So visit their businesses. I did ask this question. It's been a while, but I actually asked a group of people, have you been to the place of business of everybody in your
Neat. Yeah.
group? Like some of us work from home.
Right.
But a lot of people have a brick and mortar. And have you been there? Have you stopped by? Have you seen it? So those are a few of the things, I think.
And I think a lot of times we are all busy, and it is hard to fit those extra lunches or coffees in or something like that. But I feel like even after maybe your meeting, just walking out with someone and asking a few getting to know you questions can you can learn a lot in a short conversation.
Oh,
about somebody else.
absolutely. I think, just conversational. Get to your meeting a little bit early. Most networking meetings have a meet and greet time where you're just talking. Stick around for a few minutes afterwards if you can, and like you said, walk out with somebody or ask them, what did you think of the meeting today, or what's something great that happened to you this week. I think there are always ways that you can deepen those connections, and I just think that's hugely important. But you just said something that I want to go back to the do's and don'ts.
Okay.
Once you're in networking, do treat networking like it's a part of your business.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people see it as something extra they have to do, but you need to shift your mindset to it's what you get to do to meet new people, and it's a part of your marketing. So you want to make sure that you're making the time to connect with people within your business, and so schedule your networking like it's a part of your business, client connecting. Just like you would schedule times to meet with clients, schedule times to meet with your network family.
And I think another might be don't feel pressure to conform to a networking group that isn't a good fit for you.
Oh, absolutely.
I think sometimes we feel pressure to, well, it's the best time I can make it, so I've got to do it. Or it's not really my group of people, but I need to get in one quick, so I'm going to do it.
Right.
And then you kind of feel like it's just not working.
Right.
So don't feel that pressure that kind of keep looking, keep visiting, and you'll find one that's
find
a
your
good fit.
spot. Yes, that's hugely important, because if you're somewhere that you don't feel that you fit, or doesn't make you just super comfortable, then it's going to be harder for you to go to.
Right.
And you're not going to get out of it what you're looking for, because you're not going to put into it what you need to put into it.
Very good. Very good. Anything else? I'm trying to think. That covers it pretty good.
I think it does.
If there's any questions or tips, please, we'd love to see your comments.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think we can move on to events. I noticed I would like, I don't know if you already looked at the ones that Vino has coming up. You can check them out. I think they have them on their website, but
they do. I see there's that Ode to Bordeaux again. I just think that looks fun.
That's a pairing that's coming up on the 26th at 6 p.m. And then on the 29th, they have an Epicurean Nights, same thing, 6 p.m. And then they've got a bunch of events in April too, brunching around the world, French bistro. Interesting. So check those out. There might be one that works out for you.
I think, that's hugely important. Sorry, I was pulling up an attachment here that talks about an event.
Yes.
But I wanted to make sure I had all of the correct information in front of me. So yes, another event that we have, and this is something that I love about ING, our networking group, is the support that we give to each other in the events that each of us does. I think that's huge. So April 5th, well, let me back up. We have a member of ING who is a veteran, and due to an initial back injury when he was in Afghanistan, he has had to have multiple back surgeries over the last few years, and most recently 2 within a 48-hour period, back to back. And so and this time it was to be probably 3 to 4 months of a recovery, if not more. And so he is a dad to 6 kids, plus a host dad to an exchange student. And so they're doing a fundraiser to help them out, because, oh my goodness, even with the VA, even with insurance,
it gets expensive.
It gets expensive, and he's not really able to work yet. He hasn't been completely released to do that. So he and his family will be all together at the American Legion Hall on Scenic, just south of Nathaniel Green Park, on April 5th. and it's from 10 to 4. And it looks like it's going to be a great family event. It's a car and bike show. There's going to be a gun raffle. There are going to be food trucks. There's going to be entertainment. It's just going to be a great day of fun and community to raise money for this family who's in need right now. And I think that it's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm looking here. There's a gun raffle, food trucks, live music, car contest.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be a car show and a bike show. So you get to show off your ride and compete for prizes. They're going to be vendors. So just a lot of things happening out there that day.
And I think they still might have room for more vendors.
They
I thought
do.
I saw that. So
Yes.
I will post this on the Run It Studios, and it's on social media. So if you're interested and want to get that on your calendar,
Yes,
please
and
reach out.
so it is on Facebook as, I'm sorry, I just went out of it. I think it says veteran fundraiser for a father of 7. So it's for Cody Jones and his family. So if you know Cody, you definitely want to spread the word and come out and join us on April 5th.
Yeah, and you've got an event a few weeks after that.
I do have an event a few weeks after that. So, you know, I was just telling you about my friend Melanie, who's a wish granter. And I have to be honest and say, I did not really know what Make-A-Wish was, even after my kids were diagnosed. So my 2 oldest kids have cystic fibrosis. They were a late diagnosis. They were 12 and 14. And, you know, you're jumping through all the hoops and learning all the new stuff. It was almost like somebody brought me 2 new kids. You know, like, here's all these things you have to do now. All new rules. And so it was a very crazy time. And so over the next few years, you know, we were struggling financially, all the things that come with it. A lot of stress, health issues. My daughter ended up in the hospital for a 2-week stay, just things like that. And a friend of mine who lives in Illinois called me and said, hey, just want to check in, see how you're doing, and also to ask you, have you put in for their wishes yet?
And I have to ask you, when you were first asked that, did you have the thought that I thought, they're not terminal?
Yes.
Because that's when I hear Make-A-Wish, I'm like, they're
dying.
They're dying.
And I said that. I said, well, it's a chronic, life-threatening disease, but they're not terminal. I mean, they're okay. And she goes, oh, silly. That's not what it's for.
You silly.
That's exactly what she said. She said, oh, silly. That's not what it's for. And so then she started really explaining to me Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish is to give them some hope, to keep them going, to take some of the pressure off, to give them something to look forward to.
Man, then they should have that twice a year.
I'm telling you.
If the funds were available.
I know, right? So, and the great thing about Make-A-Wish is, yes, you have the wish kid, and it is their wish.
Yes.
And the wish granters really work hard to make sure that it is the kid's wish. But they include the whole family.
That's very cool.
Yes. So the whole family is included in some way, shape, and form, including my younger daughter who doesn't have CF. And it is, it's actually scientifically proven that the kids who are waiting for their wishes, who are granted wishes, do better with treatments, with getting through whatever it is they have to get through, but also for the families too, because it's really stressful for the family in addition to the kids.
Yeah.
So you go through so much stuff. So my kids were wish kids. And as you heard me say, Melanie was our wish granter. And I learned so much about Make-A-Wish, and I got to meet so many people that wishes changed their lives. And we might get my kids on here to talk about that a little bit at some point, but both of them will tell you that their wishes changed their lives. So now they're 26 and 24 and still fighting their CF every day. They're CF warriors. But the number of times that we refer back to their wishes and what it did for us and the doors it opened for them emotionally, mentally, is just incredible to me. And so they were 16 and 18 when their wishes were granted. By the time I found out that they were eligible for a wish. So But it was a perfect timing because it was so stressful for them with school and treatments and doing all the things. So, what does that have to do with the event we have coming up? I had to tell a little background about that first, because sometimes I just assume that people know our story.
Yeah.
You know? So, my husband, Joe, who was a Wish dad, but ultimate dad and community member, unfortunately passed away unexpectedly in April of 2023. And the kids and I were wanting to do something, a memorial to him. And the kids started talking that they wanted it to be a community event because Joe was such a community advocate, such a big person in the community. He did so much for the safety of the community. So we started discussing different organizations, and I actually am with the Wish Society to help grant wishes. So I started talking with them, and they said, why don't we raise money for Make-A-Wish? We had talked to Melanie, and we had discovered that at that point in time, there were about 100 kids in Southwest Missouri waiting on wishes. And it takes about $10,000 on average to grant a wish. And so it's always evolving of kids who are being diagnosed with various things or living with those things, or like us finding out that they're eligible for a wish. So we decided that we wanted to come together and raise money for that. So it became a concert because another of Joe's passions was music. He himself was a singer and loved music. Our kids are vocalists. And we happen to be blessed to have a lot of talented musicians in our friend group. So what better than to pull the community together? So we wanted to create a community-centered event to raise money, and that's what we did. So we like to joke and say it's a hybrid of a concert/festival.
Yeah.
So it is the second annual Joe Rickman Memorial Concert, and it is on April 26th. It is from 4 to 8 p.m. and we have 5 local performers, including 2 bands. So super exciting. We have food trucks, we have vendors, and we have vendor spaces available as well. So if you're wanting to get your business out there, we have sponsorships available. You can sponsor a table and get 10 seats to the concert. So we have a lot of things like that going on. And the concert itself is going to start at 6, but the doors open for the vendor village and food trucks and all those things. So you can come out and enjoy your entire afternoon and evening. And this is the part I think that excites me the most, is that all of that money the money we raise goes to kids in Southwest Missouri.
Yeah.
So it goes to our kiddos right here. And I just saw somebody post 103. We have 103 kids on the list.
Wow.
So I just saw another friend, acquaintance, post that her daughter's wish is coming up. And I just can't even tell you. So you get to meet some Wish kids too if you come.
Yeah.
So we're going to have some Wish kids there and Wish families and hear their stories. And so you get to come, have fun, show off your business, meet local performers, entertainers, and give back all at the same time.
Support the community. And
Support the community. And so that's what we do. And we really focus on our vendors. We focus on our sponsors. We have them on the website. So that is our dream. And they asked us to do it again this year. So we're doing it again this year. So buy your tickets. You can get those at Eventbrite. Joe Rickman Memorial Concert. You can go to the website and get them, the joerickmanmemorialconcert.com.
Okay.
You can look us up on Facebook, Joe Rickman Memorial Concert. So that would be Joe Rickman Memorial Concert, in case you didn't hear that.
Yep, we'll share it on Run It Studios too. And I like that you're keeping it local. I feel like that's a big passion for a lot of people. I know when I did I created a race several years back, and I also wanted the funds to stay local for kids with arthritis in the area. So you kind of have that attachment for wanting to support your own and keep it close by.
Well, exactly. And I mean, not that I wouldn't want to grant wishes to kids all over, but we need to start here.
When you know there's so
Yeah.
much right here that needs to be
Yeah.
done, why not?
And this is kind of fun too. What do you think of when I say a wish?
Oh, let's see. Probably something that you just could never reach for.
Okay. And if I say make a wish, what kind of wishes do you think the kids get?
I figure they want something, meet a movie star or be in a movie or maybe get some outstanding race car experience, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are wishes. Those
Yeah.
are good ones. And some of those happen, but I have to tell you a couple. There's a young lady here in Springfield, and her wish was to create a music therapy program at Mercy, at the Children's Hospital, because music therapy helped her so much. And
Really
so
sweet.
that was her wish.
And that's great.
We have, oh goodness, there was a young man who had wanted to be in the Marines, but he couldn't because of his disease.
Yeah.
And so he got to be a Marine for the day.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are so many things that the kids wish for that you
Yeah.
wouldn't even expect. They give back to the organizations that did something for them. Maybe it's a trip. Maybe it's a shopping spree. I know during COVID, when travel wasn't possible, we had, that's right, thank you, Melanie. We had a wish. A friend of mine's son received a wish that it was an Amazon shopping spree, but he went in and he purchased things even for his family that were luxuries that they couldn't afford. So that was pretty cool. We have a young man right now who is on the wish list, or they're actually working on his wish. He wants to give back to the Pregnancy Care Center,
Oh,
because it was very instrumental in helping his family when he was born
oh my
with
goodness.
the
Yeah.
issue that he has.
Yeah.
And so he wants to give back to that. And so right now we're waiting for the wish because we're waiting for funds.
Yeah.
So and that's why we do what we do. So hopefully we get him some funds.
Yeah,
So-
the concert would be a great way to plug into that. And then I'm sure there's a link on the website if you just want to make a donation. If you can't
Absolutely.
make it to the event, you can just go ahead and make that contribution there. So
Yes, precisely.
thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
We will be back next week. Again, we'll pick out a couple of great topics to talk to you about networking things for your business. If you have any ideas or something to share, let us know and we'll be glad to talk about it.
Yeah, we can't talk about you if you don't tell us.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about all of you.
Yep.
In a good way.
In a good way.
I mean, we might talk about them anyway, but they'd rather us talk about them in a good way,
We would
right?
love to talk about
Yes.
you and let you shine.
Yes. And again, we want to thank Vino Sellers for letting us hang out here every Tuesday.
Yep.
And just talk to you guys. And so drop by and tell them that you heard about them from our live.
Yep.
So tell them Michelle and Trina sent you. And I don't know, if it's not Evan, they might not know who you are, but that's okay.
That's okay. We'll see you next week. You can listen and watch when you link over. If you don't want to see the live as it's live, you can come back to Facebook and get it, or listen and watch when you link over from runitstudios.com.
All right.
See you
Bye.
later.